Hello there. This is part 2 of the migration video where we're road tripping across the United States looking for as many birds as we can find to photograph and document. My wife and I work seasonally in different parts of the US, so on this road trip we're going out from Florida all the way over to California. And this episode will cover the segment between New Mexico and Arizona, which are both beautiful states for birding and just general scenery, so excited to see some good wildlife. As always, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe if you enjoy the video. Alright team, well we've just got to New Mexico. We're in a spot called City of Rocks State Park. It's an absolutely gorgeous state park and it's a little bit of a windy day, so that's kind of the main thing that we are learning to deal with. But we just got our live for a Scott's Oriole. We got a pair of them. Gabby spotted them, so well done to her. And this is a breathtaking Oriole. It's absolutely stunning. It's got so much yellow and that really deep kind of jet black head. I'm gonna try and creep over to it and get a photo. We're just kind of in a blur of excitement because we just showed up and then these Orioles showed up. And we've been hearing some Gambel's quail. I saw a black-throated gray warbler already and a thrasher. I believe it was a curve-billed thrasher. Got a little vireo, beautiful little one that actually offered some sweet views in this. Yeah, it's a creosote bush or creosote, depending on how you like to pronounce it. But it was really beautiful and had a bit of a faint yellow wash on the sides, which is leading us to think it's probably a Cassin's vireo, which is amazing. Really beautiful bird, and it was just really accommodating. It gave us some good looks before disappearing away. So we've been watching a flycatcher for a while that's been frustrating to try and identify positively. We're leaning between a dusky and a Hammond's. Those are kind of the tricky ones. So yes, with flycatchers, especially of the Empidanax genus, they all kind of look similar. So according to this guidebook I have, it is helpful to look at the general tail length, the primary projection of the primary feathers beyond the rest of the flight feathers, secondaries I guess. Use those in conjunction with other field marks like the mandibular color, the lower mandible. In some cases, for instance, the western flycatcher has an orangish lower mandible typically. So these are all tools that we can use to try and ascertain what we're looking at. We find ourselves now amongst the City of Rocks. Really beautiful geologic formation. We got another flycatcher tucked away, sallying out, catching some bugs. Oh, wow, I cannot express how amazing that was just to get a great horned owl right now. Gabby was brilliant and spotted this owl. Well, in fact, she heard it. She heard it next to her and she heard some kind of movement on a rock, looked up and the owl had been disturbed. She walked kind of right by it without even noticing, and then it took flight, and then we have been kind of scanning the rock fields around here for a while until we finally rediscovered it. It's a really beautiful morph, just real kind of muted grayscale. So that was really a wonderful treat to get. So well done to Gabby for finding that. Well, I cannot believe it. Right at the end of the day here, we spotted two beautiful Wilson's warblers. They're, oh my gosh, such a stunning bird. That vibrant yellow and that sweet little black cap on the top of the head. Man, that was definitely a sight for sore eyes. I think he's still here actually. Hey buddy. There was two males. They're dimorphic, so yeah, there he is. Oh, they're so stunning. I'm gonna give him some space just so he's not stressed out. Oh, both are here. Nice. Oh, it's such a warm welcome back to the West to see a couple of these amazing warblers. So stoked to be back. After leaving New Mexico, we headed west and south toward the southeastern border of Arizona. We're headed to the Chiricahua National Monument. It's a sky island, a beautiful mountain that's situated against a desert basin, and it's absolutely stunning driving into this place. Some immediate things that I noticed upon getting to the visitor center was that it's very bird centric. A lot of people go out here for the birds. Famously, the elegant trogon hangs out in this space. So that was definitely a bird that we're on the lookout for while we're out in the Chiricahuas. The first place we checked was the visitor center, and they had told us that the most recent sightings of the elegant trogon were at the South Fork Bridge of the Cave Creek area, so we decided that would be the first spot we'd go check out. As we made our way over there, I don't think we were quite prepared for the sheer abundance of warblers and kinglets we were about to encounter. Well, we finally made it to Cave Creek. We're actually on the South Fork Road doing a little birding, and we've heard there's some painted redstart around here, so hopefully we'll get to see them. And of course we're looking for the elusive trogon. We heard the most recent spot it's been seen is along the South Fork Road, specifically in these dense kind of sycamore forests in the middle of the creek bed. It is really dry right now. We've been talking to some of the people at the visitor center and the campground, and they're in a pretty severe drought in Southeast Arizona, about 2 years without any good monsoon season, which is what kind of refreshes all the water in this area. So hopefully we'll get to have some monsoons here soon and kind of refresh everything. Let's see what we can spot here. It is almost peak migration in southeastern Arizona, so this is a really good time to see those migration pushes that occur overnight. You might get a whole new batch of birds showing up the next morning. The sheer volume of kinglets was incredible. I could not keep my eyes focused in one place because there was always movement in my periphery. Trying to be aware of everything happening, I would always look and it would almost always inevitably be a kinglet, but it was still awesome to see that many. And there also were a huge amount of Wilson's warblers, especially in the riparian center of the creek. We got to see tons of them, both males and females. I just love seeing those guys. It was awesome to get to see the only other junco species in North America, the yellow-eyed junco. Well, you can still hear the wind, but we're at one of the local feeders and it is crazy busy. We're seeing a bunch of lesser goldfinch, some pine siskin, and a bunch of acorn woodpecker, not to mention the beautiful blue-throated mountain gems hanging out. It feels a little polleny and dusty, that's why I'm feeling like my nose is a little clogged up, but it's really... And then we also got Inca dove, so it's been real sweet so far. Looking forward to hopefully getting some decent hummingbird photos and videos. Well, it's been crazy. I think we're at, what, 22, 23 species now? 26. We're just listening to a beautiful curve-billed thrasher. Ooh, who's this? Cardinal? We thought we got a Perloxia earlier, but it was a lovely cardinal, which are wonderful to see, of course, but Perloxia is obviously the desert specialty, so we were hoping to spot one of them. We got some beautiful lazuli bunting. Oh, who's this? Someone's enjoying some treats on the feeder. The jelly bar. Okay, we're gonna hang out at the jelly bar for a bit and see if we can get some good birds. After going to those feeders, we went to hit one more feeder for the end of the day. It was at this place that we saw some massive turkeys. These are the biggest wild turkeys I've ever seen. Apparently they are a subspecies of turkey called Gould's turkey. So that was amazing. We also got to see our lifer yellow-breasted chat, which has been a long time elusive bird for me. We got to see it a couple of times come to the feeder, and I got some shots and videos. The next day we decided to go do some hummingbird feeders first thing in the morning, because a big goal of mine for this part of the trip was to get some really awesome photos of hummingbirds. It did become somewhat of a challenge to get photos of the other hummingbirds, as the blue-throated mountain gem is very much a dominant hummingbird at these feeders. It kind of pesters the other birds out of the way. So that was a little bit of a challenge, but we ended up getting a decent close-up of the mountain gem and decent rivolis, black-chinned, but again, no broad-tailed, so that'll have to be next time we go out there. The broad-tailed is on the target list. We had heard if we go up and over the mountain pass toward a place called Pinery Campground that there was some birds that we had on our list that we needed to get. So we decided to make the trek up and over the mountain, which in the van was a little bit funky. It was a real uneven road, but we made it over. We got to see our lifer red-faced warbler, which was crazy accommodating. The bird just slowly moved into the sunlight and gave us some amazing looks and was not at all skulky or shy. I'd have to recommend seeing that warbler if you're in that area. The other birds that we wanted to see there were the olive warbler and the Mexican chickadee. We did get the olive warbler. I unfortunately did not get any photos or videos because it was really high up in the pines, kind of hanging out by the crowns, but got really distinctive call note. Yeah, I mean, we got decent looks at it, and I just unfortunately didn't get a photo or video of it, but stoked to get that another lifer. At this point, we had been birding with a couple other people, awesome people to be birding with, and that's something that I just love about birding, is it's so communal and brings people together that maybe otherwise would not be hanging out. And we ended up birding with them multiple times throughout the rest of the day. In fact, we went looking for owls with them at night, just listening by ear, walking under a really well-lit night, and we did get our whiskered screech owl and then elf owl later on that same night. So those were two awesome auditory lifers. Big shout out to those folks. After that owling session that night, we went to bed and woke up early the next day to go look for hummingbirds again. We were really determined to get broad-tailed hummingbird, but unfortunately the bird wasn't cooperating. And then one of my, I don't have favorites, but a really spectacular bird is the green-tailed towie, and we got some awesome looks at that bird. I just love seeing those sparrows. They're so beautiful. After that, we unfortunately did have to make our way out of the Chiricahuas and begin moving west onto California. So that's kind of where this episode will wrap up for the day. But if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe and let me know what wildlife you've been seeing lately. Cheers, have a good one.